Welcome to Adobe Illustrator CC 2021 Class for in a Book Chapter 2, Techniques for Selecting Artwork. In this, we're going to go ahead and learn how to change different elements of artwork that's already been created. So let's go ahead and go into Illustrator. Let's do a File Open and go into your Lesson 2 folder where you've downloaded it and unzipped it. And let's go ahead and grab that Start file and say Open. Then we're going to do a File, Save As. Make sure you're putting it in your Lesson 2 folder, first initial, last name, underscore Adobe Illustrator, Classroom in a Book, chapter number 2, and save. And I already have one in here, so I'm just going to replace it. All right, let's make sure we're all working. Oh, say okay. We're all working in the same workspace, so let's go to Window. Let's come down here to Workspace, and let's do Reset Essentials. So we're all in the same place. So now the next thing we're going to do is learn how to select some objects. So we're going to go ahead and see our artboard. We've got two different artboards. We've got one with pieces, one with the poster with our critter on it. So we want to go ahead and grab our one says pieces. So let's go down to the bottom, and it's in our window. If not, you can do View, Fit, Artboard, and Window. Let's grab the Selection tool, and I'm going to go ahead and select this circle, and I can tell it's selected because it's got the blue box around it. If I then want to select something else, it will go ahead and move that bounding box for me. Let's go ahead now, and you sometimes will get the word anchor or path. Because the smart guides are on, those will turn on for you. So let's go ahead and use the selection tool and have shift and grab the second one, and it's going to add both of those items to our selection. So now you can see you can actually move those around together as a group, as a unit. If you don't like what you've done, you can always do a file revert, and it will take you back to, or edit revert, it'll take you back to where we started. No, file revert. There we go. That will take you back to exactly where you first started. So that's if everything goes wrong, that's what we got to do. So we're going to work with editing some elements here. So we're going to go ahead and work on this top piece of bamboo. I can grab my zoom tool and zoom in a few times. I want to go ahead and grab my selection tool and select that element. So you can see that now I've got a bounding box with several anchor points that are connected by paths. So we're going to go ahead and we want to change one of these anchor points. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the direct selection tool, which is going to allow me to change just one element at a time. I'm going to do a control minus and zoom out just a little tiny bit. So there you can see we've got our anchor points. I'm going to go ahead and take this anchor point and click on it. I can tell it's active because it's blue. I'm going to go ahead and stretch that one, make the top of this bamboo a little less even. I'm going to click on the other and move it as well. So make your bamboo however you like it. And let's go ahead and do a control S and save. And if you don't like what you did, you can revert. Otherwise, I like to kind of make it a little bit different. Let's go ahead and look at the size of our handles and things. So if they're little tiny and you don't like it, either go to Edit or Open or Apple and come down here to Preferences. In your Preferences, you want to go ahead and grab Selection and Anchor Display. And you can choose how big you want those to be when you are working. I'm going to go ahead and make mine max and say OK. So it's going to make those even bigger so you can see them, which can be really nice, especially if you're working on a laptop and you're having some trouble. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. And I'm going to zoom out by dragging from right to left. I'm going to pan by hitting my space bar and moving up so I can see those two brown circles. I'm going to go ahead with my selection tool and select out so I don't have anything selected. And I'm going to go ahead and select with the marquee now. So I want to drag just a rectangle with my selection tool over the top of these two. And it's going to go ahead and select both of those for us. So that's what we do with the selection tool. Let's do it with the direct selection. So I'm going to do deselect. I'm going to grab direct selection, which is the one below, and just grab the tops. And now we're going to see we get these direction handles, which can be used to control the curves of those paths. So we're going to go ahead and move the direction handles. And because we've got them both selected at once, we can see we can actually create a couple of different types of looks for these are our pupils. I'm gonna go ahead and make mine this way because that sounds fun today. Or you can do revert and put them back, but I want to just do something a little different. So let's go ahead and click out onto the pasteboard and Control S and save. Let's go ahead and learn how to hide and lock some objects. Let's go ahead to our artboard number 1. And if you can see, we've got this large green square, blue-green. I'm going to grab my selection tool. I'm going to click and select that. So you can see I can kind of move that around, which kind of makes it hard to get to some of these other elements. I can't necessarily click on the bamboo from here. I'm going to do edit and undo my move, put it back where I found it. So now with it still selected, let's go to Object, and let's come down to Lock and Lock Selection. So now I can grab other things. I also want to go ahead and lock this project, Protect Our Wildlife. So let's go Object, Lock, and Protect Selection. Okay, so now we can't grab that either. So I can click on this all day, but it's not going to do anything. Now I do want to do something with the animal artwork. So let's go ahead. I can either just click single, but I want to make sure I get all the pieces inside. So I'm going to go ahead and drag a marquee over everything to select everything. And now I want to remove the eyeballs. So you do this, you're going to take and push Shift and click on the eyeballs themselves to get rid of the path. And this has been fussy with me this morning, so I'm not sure what's going on. All right, I'm going to reselect. And I'm going to hit Shift. Escape. If you end up in the isolation mode, that's okay. I don't know why this is doing this morning. All right, I want to remove these guys. So I'm going to hit Shift. Take that out. Shift. Undo. I'll do my selection one more time. This is a real hassle this morning. All right. All right. This is going to be the death of me. I almost wonder if it's behind something. Behind the front. Oh, that's not it. Okay, I got them off. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and Object and Hide Selection. Object, Hide Selection. So it's going to hide everything but the eyeballs. Yay, us! All right, we're going to go ahead and Shift Drag over the pupils. We're going to go and change those eyeball colors. So Shift Drag over to select both of them. And instead of gray eyes, I want to make them have different colors. You can have gray eyes. I want to do something else. I'm going to give them dark blue eyes. Or I can go into my color here and kind of play with colors. Okay, I'm going to hit Escape when I've got my eyeballs the color I want. And now let's go ahead and we need to be able to unlock things. In order to do this, this is new, depending on which version of Illustrator you're working on. Let's go to Edit and Preferences, or your Apple and Preferences, and come down to Selection and Display again. And we want to go ahead and select the Unlock Objects on Canvas, which is right here, and turn that one on. And that will allow us to unlock individual things on our canvas. Say OK. So now we want to click in the Protect Our Wildlife, and we can see that we've got a little bit of a lock, or I should have a lock. Should have had a lock. Maybe I didn't lock it. All right, let's do it this way. Select it, Object, Lock, Selection. Okay, now I've got a lock. Now if I click on it, I can go ahead and unclick it and unlock it and go ahead. Let's grab just the wildlife part. And let's just move the whole thing up.